Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul Channel. I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And some people I thank have inspired me. I hope they can inspire you as well. I will have links below to their sites here: Rabbi Shalom Arush, Rabbi Lazer Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Rabbi Lon Anava, Rabbi Yuval Ovadia, Rav Daniel Asore, Nisan Baruch Black, David Sachs, Rabbi Michael Skobek, Jews for Judaism, Rabbi David Ashir, and Rabbi Ron Ruvain. As well, if you've never checked out this channel before, I will have a link to my first video below this video, which explains what M.L.M for the Soul means, what it stands for, and what I am doing. So this is from the weekly Parasha Insights by Rabbi Eli Mansour from the emails I get from him. And this is in relation to Parashat Korach, which is the upcoming Parasha. And I call this genuine efforts rewarded irrespective of the outcome. So following Korach's ill-fated revolt against Moshe and Aaron, during which he and his followers demanded the right to perform the service in the Mishkan, which Hashem had assigned to the Kohanim, Hashem proceeded to prove that Aaron was assigned the exclusive role of Kohen Gadol, which is a high priest. That's how it's explained. He instructed Moshe to take a staff from the leader of each tribe, including from Aaron, the leader of Levi, and to then place all the staffs inside the Mishkan. The next day Moshe brought out the staffs, and everyone saw that Aaron's staff had blossomed. The Torah describes how Aaron's staff, quote, produced a flower, sprouted a blossom, and yielded almonds. Oh, and this is also in Sefer Bamidbar, just in case you didn't know. And that's from Pasuk Perek 17, chapter 17, verse 23. Or Perek, whichever one you want to say, Perek and Pasuk. So the miracle proved that Hashem had chosen Aaron and his tribe to minister before him in the Mishkan. Normally a tree begins budding and sprouting before the fruit is produced. And once the fruit appears, the flower falls off the branch. I've actually seen them myself. If you see behind me, there's an orange tree, but it's not in, it doesn't have its fruits on it. Sometimes I'm here when they are, and I've seen it in that stage where it flowers, and then the flower comes off, and then you see the little bud, which is the little fruit starting to grow. So the impression given by the Torah, however, is that Aaron's staff had the flowers and almonds together at the same time, whereas usually the flowers fall once the fruit grows. The flowers on Aaron's staff, Aharon I should say, remained even after the fruit was produced. This is Rabbi Mansour saying this. One of my teachers from Yeshiva suggested a meaningful explanation of this phenomenon. The flowers signify the preparatory stage before the emergence of the fruit. In virtually every field, in practically any area of life, the flowers, quote, fall off. The effort and preparation invested in reaching a desired goal are insignificant in relation to the goal. So once you prepare and once you achieve the goal, that's what matters, not the preparation anymore. That's what he's saying. So only the, quote, fruit, which is the end result, is meaningful. And so once the result is achieved, the, quote, flowers, the process that led to this result fall away and are forgotten. So the fruit, that's how they use the expression, the fruits of your labor. It's interesting, right? So when it comes to Torah, however, this is not the case at all. The, quote, flowers, which means your effort, are just as important and valuable as the fruit, which is your results. And I'm just adding that in. So if a person works all day to understand a difficult passage in a Torah text, he has used his time well and will be rewarded regardless of whether, in the end, he arrives at the correct explanation. A salesman will not receive any commission if he does not make any sales, regardless of the effort he invested. So isn't that interesting? This is just my own thing, my own understanding. So that means when we're trying to achieve something materially, if there's no result, then you're not getting anything of it. Whereas what we do spiritually, even the effort counts. So that's interesting. I just kind of got that from here. So our genuine efforts for Torah, however, are rewarded irrespective of the outcome. So it has been suggested that this principle underlies the otherwise peculiar passage in the Haggadah in which we say, if he had brought us to Mount Sinai but did not give us the Torah, this would have been sufficient for us. Well, that's a good question, right? I don't know if you ever thought about this, but this is really nice how he brings this explanation. So many commentators ask, why would it have been sufficient to have arrived at Mount Sinai or Har Sinai without receiving the Torah? It was not the entire purpose of encamping at Mount Sinai to receive the Torah. The explanation might be that the intensive preparations for receiving the Torah were precious and invaluable in their own right, independent of the end result. So how so? Well, which is my question, that's not in here. So for 50 days after leaving Egypt, Bnei Israel needed to work to elevate themselves from the depths of impurity to which they had fallen in Egypt, and reach the spiritual heights required for Matan Torah. So these efforts, this process of growth, was immensely meaningful and significant, and would have been meaningful and significant if it had not resulted in receiving the Torah. So just the fact that they went through all that preparation, which led up to it, would have been enough. And then each time we say that, we say it's dayenu, so it would have been enough. So each thing we say would have been enough because it involved a lot of effort with whatever we did. So Moshe was instructed to store Aharon's blossom staff inside the Mishkan. It teaches us that Kedusha stems from the effort that we invest, the hard work that we do in the pursuit of religious growth and achievement. We will not always achieve our goals, and we will often fall short of the level to which we aspire. However, as long as we are sincere in our efforts, then they are very significant and valuable. Even if we never see the, quote, fruit of the beautiful, quote, flowers that we produce through our hard work and efforts. I'm sorry, let me repeat that. I said that wrong. So, even if we never see the, quote, fruit, the beautiful, quote, flowers that we produce through our hard work and efforts will always remain. And I hope that our efforts will always remain and always will grow to doing the will of Hashem, and that we will all merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days and the rebuilding of our final and everlasting base Hamikdash. Amen. And thanks for watching.